Hello, I am Patrick Cawley with Keystone Elder Law. This is Keynotes, a series of conversations about issues affecting older people, people with special needs, and veterans of the armed forces. I am thrilled today to be joined by Sheron Smith, who owns Hanover Family Fitness. And in particular, she runs specific programs for older Pennsylvanians, for people who have disabilities, including one-on-one coaching for people with autism or disabilities that would prevent them from going to a gym environment, as well as people with disabilities who function at a much higher level. She has a program for that and has even coached or organized a Special Olympics team for powerlifters. Sheron, I am thrilled to have this conversation. So thank you so much for setting aside some time with me.
Thank you.
So tell me, how did you get into this fitness and wellness business? And, is this something that was always part of your lifestyle and you wanted to share it with other people, or was there some other motivating factor?
Actually, I was 57 when I decided to follow this journey. And it was because I needed it for myself. I was running a daycare. It was a licensed daycare, and I found myself gradually going to special needs children. And I had a little girl who was 18 months old, I think, when she came to me, who was, she had Down syndrome, and she had club feet and could not walk. So she scooted everywhere, and I carried her a lot. And I also had my daycare room was on the second floor in my house, which made it really difficult to get her up and down the steps. So my fear was at 350 plus pounds, I was going to drop her or my knees were going to give out. And at that point, I thought for sure I was going to have knee replacement. So this was out of a specific need. I needed to change my life. And so I did that, joined a gym, lost tons of weight, got healthy. And then I found that I needed to help people. I felt the desire to share what I had done and let everybody know it can happen. So that's when I started coaching, and actually I started coaching CrossFit. And then because of having these special needs children in my home, I began to recognize that there is not a gym program that really targets them. And so that's where the Special Warrior program was born.
Wow, that's amazing, because right off the bat, I think you've touched on some very important issues. So the first is that it's never too late to start focusing on strength and mobility and fitness. Losing weight is something that a lot of people think about when they hear fitness, but you were talking about not only losing a significant amount of weight, but also just the strength to carry a special needs child. And you were talking about how this can come from, you have to have motivation from somewhere. Your motivation, it sounds like, was always one of service to other people. That's why you gravitated your daycare towards people with special needs. But
yes.
then also that led you to take it to the next level, to take care of yourself first so that you could take care of other people. So I'm hearing an awful lot of great pointers just right off the bat for people who have to shift their mindset. Maybe one of fear that they think, well, I'm too old for this. And here you are, I can see in the background, and I happen to belong to a CrossFit gym. You've got the heavy equipment and everything, and I know how that gets scaled up slowly for people's needs. So yes, you have overcome an awful lot to get to where you are. And I think that's a great place to start for a lot of people. So, some of our clients at Keystone Elder Law or a lot of them are people who are looking at long-term care at some point, and the dividing line between, say, independent living, which everybody wants to maintain as long as possible, and all the way up the spectrum to skilled nursing care, is often how long they can stay resilient against the ravages of aging, and how long they can help themselves out of a chair or help themselves to the bathroom and so forth.
Yes.
What you're doing is gold when it comes to keeping people just strong enough that they have that functional movement. Can you tell us about that and how you work with people, say, over 55? I think I saw on your site that you have a program.
Yeah, the class is called 55 Plus. And we've had several people close to 55 and not quite, but with a malady that they needed to work on. Some knee replacements, hip replacement, high blood pressure. So the age is just a guideline, but it's never too late to reverse a lot of the problems that we have as we age. And if you look at statistics in nursing homes, a large percentage of people ended up there because of a broken hip. And that seems to be a defining, once that happens, your strength goes, you do lose mobility and agility and endurance, and those things are all important. And that's what we focus on. My 55 Plus group is amazing. And if you log on Facebook, there is a Facebook page called 55 Plus, and you can watch some of the videos. They work really hard. They don't come in with the ability, and some of them, it's just getting them through the door. We have a very welcoming group, and right now, because we're all quarantined, we've been meeting at regular time on Zoom and either just talking, networking, talking about what we're missing, but the thing is, we all do miss each other. And so they've built a social, it's become a social thing for them too, and they've built friendships off of it.
That's great. Some of the professional contacts I have in my line of work include people who work in assisted living or personal care homes or skilled nursing homes. And they say that, the 4-letter F word in their building is fall. And, I think that, if you build up core strength, if you build up the, balance muscles, all those little muscles that keep a person balanced, that does such good things for their long-term ability to avoid a fall, which, as you said, can set off a catastrophic string of health consequences. So that's fantastic. And you touched on just getting over the hurdle to come in the door. And then, I think probably what keeps them coming back is that social connection. So you're succeeding on a lot of levels there. Tell me some of the, are there particular people over 55 who you've worked with who have gone from pretty bad shape to being pretty impressive in their ability to go through functional movement and that kind of thing?
Yes, absolutely. One of the newest people that we have, her name's Sherry. She had never been in a gym. She never went to a gym before. And her daughter is also one of my clients in a different group. And so she started asking questions, and her daughter said, just go and try it. So she did, and she said it was hard. It was hard to walk in to a room, with other people, knowing she knew nothing about what was going to happen. And she has really skyrocketed. Her health was good, but she would get tired in the middle of the day. And so what she's finding is her endurance has gotten so much better, and she's just happier. She knows she's healthier. We do a lot of nutrition counseling, so we're helping them there. And then I also have, he's my uncle, but everybody in the gym now calls him Uncle Alan. He is 87 years old. Now, he's not part of the 55 Plus class, but he is a classic example of how much we need to keep moving. He has terminal cancer and has been struggling. The doctors told him that they could lengthen his life with treatment, but it was up to him to make the most of it. And Uncle Alan has always been a very physical person, always. He's ridden across country on a tandem bike with his son. He's ridden motorcycles from coast to coast. Hiking, he's hiked the Appalachian Trail a couple times from one end to the other. So he's not a slacker at all. And he comes to the gym twice a week for about 45 minutes each time. And he works so hard, and the doctors saw the improvement. His muscle tone had returned. And all the things that break down during chemo, he beat those things. And so he was very happy. The doctors were happy. But you can't give up. You know, you have to keep moving. And he's a perfect example of that. Plus, he feels a lot better. He gets out of the house and he gets to talk. And yeah, it's nice.
It's hard to know whether you're building up his spirit more than his muscles. I mean, and it's all so important and intertwined. And you know,
it is intertwined.
Yeah,
Yes.
I see these stories in the news all the time about how they're finding more and more ways that improving physical strength is good for the mind. It's good for staving off dementia in some cases, I believe. It just has so many benefits. I know myself that I sleep better when I'm constantly going to the gym like that. As much as I don't want to, when I first suit up to do it, I always feel better afterwards, and I know that there's so many benefits. And what an inspiring story with Uncle Alan. Shifting gears a little bit, you not only work with a 55 plus crowd, but you also, and this goes back, I guess, to your daycare experience, you work both on an individual and a group level with people who have other special needs, such as autism or other disabilities.
Yes.
Tell me about that a little bit.
The Special Warrior Program I designed specifically for people with special needs. It started out with children. I now have adults and children, any age, cognitive or intellectual disabilities, sometimes both. And the Special Warriors was designed 30 minutes, one-on-one. And pretty much the sessions are now back to back because I have that many clients. So they pass each other in the doorway and wave. Most of them don't make eye contact, but they'll give a wave. And it's amazing to watch them. Some of them I've had 10 years. I started the class with 2 pilot children from my daycare. And the one is still with me, and he's 14 years old. So, it's been amazing to watch them grow.
You know, I read a story somewhere before this conversation about how you started working with one of these clients, and you just started so basic with, you know, picking up a heavy ball, and the goal was to throw it and catch it, and it took 50 times before this client could catch the ball. But fast forward, you know, through a lot of persistent work, and you know, he would just look at the board, see what the workout is, and just feed through it. All you had to do was provide a little bit of encouragement. And I'll tell you, you know, at our firm, we in addition to an elderly clientele, there are, you know, it's sort of a similar body of law that deals with special needs folks. And I think we talk to a lot of parents who their worst fear is, if we're gone, what's going to happen to our special needs child? And again, here's where, you know, you would be fulfilling the dream of so many parents to see that their child, despite whatever obstacles they have that they were born with or developed, they're going to thrive in the long run. And it starts with something basic, and it just requires persistent effort.
Yeah, sometimes it's just repetition. But what I've seen is how much the physical and the cognitive relate. If you can get them physical, put some weight in their hands, get them grounded, get them breathing hard, something just seems to click and it makes sense. And sometimes it takes 10, 15, 20 times. But if you're persistent enough, sooner or later, it clicks. And then it's just part of their gym routine, which carries out into their life then also.
And you mentioned the Special Warriors program, but you also have something called Adaptive Athletes. What's the difference between the two?
The Adaptive Athletes kind of grew out of the Special Warrior program when I realized I had several clients who were, they were a little older, and they were a little higher functioning, and I felt like they were ready. So I started it with just 2 or 3. It was on a trial basis, and it worked instantly. We put them together. We do an hour class every Saturday afternoon. We're here at the gym. And even during this quarantine, we've been here at the gym every Saturday online, playing gym bingo. So I just sent out the notice, and I said, this morning I sent it out and I said, look guys, if you're getting bored with this, I'm okay. You don't have to do it for me. And all the parents responded, oh, no, they want to do it. They can't wait. So again, it has been so great for socialization. People with special needs sometimes crave that, and it's not recognized because they exhibit it in different ways. So while they might all be in a room together, maybe not even making eye contact, but they're still speaking to each other. Sometimes they don't speak, it's their body movement. But they actually have formed a really close group. And right now we're at 10 athletes. And again, we have Down syndrome, we have autism, we have Fragile X, Noonan syndrome. We have quite an eclectic group, but they're awesome. And that's my favorite hour of the week. Yeah. And they work,
go ahead.
They work hard. They do the same workouts that my regular classes do. They just maybe do it a little slower. They do it with less weight, in a safer way, but they're awesome.
What an amazing accomplishment, not only for them with the hurdles they have to overcome. That socialization piece is so key, yeah. But an accomplishment for you. You're just yes. impacting lives on a level you must be so happy about. And some of your athletes are so accomplished that there's a Special Olympics powerlifting team. Could you tell me about that?
Yeah, I think it's been 4 years now. This might be our 5th season. Because I am a power lifter. I competed at Olympic lifting, but I do enjoy powerlifting, and there was not a team in Adams County. So I approached Adams County Special Olympics and asked if they would be interested in a powerlifting team. And they said, absolutely. And so we went with it. The first year was just a trial. I think we knew about 3 or 4 sessions in that it was going to stay. And we have an amazing team of athletes. I have one young lady, Amari, who deadlifts 305 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. More than the guys do, not that they'd like to hear that, but the amazing thing is they are a tight team also. And so they've formed friendships in and out of the gym. We get to go to competitions. We come to Hershey for Area M competition. And I'm very proud. We always come home with golds, tons of golds. So they work really hard.
Just inspiring and amazing all around. Sheron, this has been great. And I'm going to post this video with links to Hanover Family Fitness and the 55 Plus Facebook group, hopefully, if I can figure out how to do that. How else can people get in touch with you?
They can find me on Facebook. Find me personally. Just know that my first name is spelled with an E instead of an A. And my picture is in the gym, so you will recognize that. Or any one of my pages. I have a page for every different program that I coach. Or you can send me a personal message. Also, you can just call or text me, and the phone number is 717-521-9106. If I don't answer the phone, it's because I'm in the gym and my phone's not on when I'm in the gym. But I will get back to you if you leave a message.
You're busy doing God's work, so it's good that there's so many ways to get in touch with you. Sheron, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.